Imagine a world where the cradle of civilization, ancient Sumer, not only birthed writing, cities, and law, but crossed oceans to discover a new world. What if the Sumerians, thousands of years before Columbus, had reached the shores of North America? Would cuneiform writing be carved into stones across the Mississippi? Would ziggurats rise alongside native mounds? Would Bronze Age city-states have spread across 2 continents? Let's dive into this mind-bending, alternate history, where the first to build cities might have also been the first to span the globe. The Sumerians flourished in Mesopotamia, in what's now southern Iraq, around 3500 to 2000 BCE. They built the world's first true cities, URUK. They invented the wheel, irrigation, and most famously, cuneiform writing. They were masterful canal builders, astronomers, and religious visionaries. Their myths inspired later civilizations from Babylon to Persia, but they weren't seafarers in the same way. Later Phoenicians, or Greeks, were. Their ships traveled along rivers and coastal routes, mostly within the Persian Gulf. They knew the world as a flat disk, surrounded by a cosmic ocean. Crossing the Atlantic would have seemed like diving into myth. But what if they tried anyway? Let's imagine a cataclysmic flood, like the one echoed in the Epic of Gilgamesh, wipes out parts of Sumer. Priests interpret omens. The gods are angry. The stars point west. A group of Sumerian nobles, astronomer priests, and craftsmen perhaps, fleeing internal wars or ecological collapse, construct a great reed ship, stronger than ever before, reinforced with bitumen. They set sail into the unknown Western Sea, chasing divine visions or escaping a dying homeland. After weeks of storms and starvation, they spot land forests, rivers, and a sun that rises behind them. They've reached the Americas, around 2000 BCE. The Sumerians, skilled in diplomacy and religious ritual, encounter indigenous peoples, perhaps early mound-building cultures in the southeast, or Proto-Mex further south. These early Americans are shocked by the newcomers' strange clothes, bronze tools, and chanting prayers to Enlil and in Anadot. At first, contact is cautious. Gifts are exchanged, obsidian and feathers for beads and metal blades, but the Sumerians quickly begin organizing. They mark sacred geometry into the earth, build small altars, and teach cuneiform symbols to local elites. As in Mesopotamia, religion becomes the glue of influence. Sumerians establish a settlement near a major river, perhaps the Mississippi or the Rio Grande. They construct canals for irrigation. Brick-making techniques are adapted using local clay. A temple complex rises, a step pyramid resembling a ziggurat, dedicated to the sky god Anu. They name the colony Key America, the Earth of the West. As they spread, they teach the art of record-keeping. The first cuneiform tablets are made from local river clay. Over decades, the colony grows. Trade with native peoples flourishes. Copper from the Great Lakes, jade from Mesoamerica, and foodstuffs flow through a new hybrid economy. The presence of the Sumerians accelerates native development, but also disrupts it. Some tribes integrate Sumerian agricultural techniques and religious practices. A new class of bilingual priest-scribes emerges. Other regions resist, fearing the strange gods and power structures the Sumerians bring. Skirmishes erupt, but the Sumerians, lacking a large military, rely more on diplomacy and divine awe. Intermarriage, shared myths, and temple alliances form a hybrid culture, half native, half Mesopotamian. Imagine a world where Inanna is worshipped, alongside the spirits of the land, where native origin myths are etched in cuneiform and told in Sumerian rhythm. The Americas absorbed Mesopotamian bronze casting, wheeled carts adapted for the terrain, and astronomy. In return, Sumerians learn new techniques in agriculture, like the Three Sisters Methodan, begin cultivating maize and beans. This early transcontinental exchange of ideas and materials triggers an explosion of innovation. The mound-building cultures begin constructing even larger ceremonial centers, now infused with Mesopotamian cosmology. By 1500 BCE, a second-generation society emerges, the Unified Temple League, blending tribal leadership with Sumerian administrative bureaucracy. In Central America, the Olmec civilization rises, centuries ahead of schedule, now accelerated by Sumerian knowledge. But it's not pure imitation. Instead of Mesopotamian-style gods alone, colossal heads and local iconography evolved to represent new hybrid deities, feathered lions, jaguar-faced sky gods, and serpent dragons with cuneiform scales. Temples rise, where ziggurats and native pyramids merge. New art styles reflect both worlds. Language evolves to pictographs influenced by cuneiform. A new writing system, Americascript, spreads through temples, court documents, and mythic scrolls. The Sumerians introduce bureaucracy, city councils, and temple lead governance. The native tribal councils adapt this model, evolving into theocratic city-states with scribes, judges, and priest-kings. An early confederation forms across the southern plains and into Mesoamerica. Diplomatic emissaries travel by river and land, recording treaties on clay tablets baked in open fires. Rivalries and power struggles persist, but within a framework of law and ritual inherited from Uruk and Eridu. By 1000 BCE, the Great Council of the Four Rivers governs an area larger than historical Sumer ever did. The spiritual fabric of the Americas transforms. Sumerian gods are not forced upon native peoples, they're syncretized. Anu becomes the sky spirit father, Enki merges with water deities. Inanna takes on roles as a corn goddess in some regions. Religious festivals blend local and Sumerian calendars. Priest astronomers chart the skies from new observatories in the Yucatan and Mississippi Valley. The Epic of Gilgamesh is retold in native style, now featuring great rivers, spirit animals, and a journey not just to find immortality, but to understand both worlds. Fast forward to the 21st century. If this alternate path held, we might live in a world where cuneiform is the global script typed on stylus-inspired keyboards. English might never have emerged as a world language. Instead, modern global Sumerian would mix Akkadian grammar with Native American vocabulary. New York might be known as Yorkie, a modern metropolis built over ancient temples. The Enlightenment, the Industrial Revolution, even modern democracy might have taken radically different forms, born not in Greece, but in the early temple states of America. Religion, architecture, timekeeping, all built on a Mesopotamian American legacy. So, what if the Sumerians discovered America? Would we have built a more spiritual, temple-centered world, or one just as divided, only in different lines of power and faith? Would we now honor the gods of the Tigris, across the lands of the Amazon and the Rockies? Let us know what you think in the comments, and remember, even the oldest stories can still change the future when they sail just a little farther west.